All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We don't even need to have a proper introduction. We're just going to jump right into Team CreamPuffs versus Team Comanche, and they were just so ready to rock and roll. They jumped right on in to picks and bans, which we are happy to go with, jumping on in and keeping the games moving along at a proper pace. As Yasuo, the first ban from Team CreamPuffs, and Gnar, not what we've seen played or banned yet by Comanche. Still a strong pick, though.
Yeah, incredibly powerful for Harass in the top lane, most likely a targeted ban like we were talking about earlier in the game. The thing is, Yasuo, despite the more than questionable performance in the last game by the Yasuo, still first ban away. Now, what I do like is the Garen. Most people haven't caught on to this quite yet, but Garen has been dominating the top lane meta for a while. In fact, he even drew some nerfs for the first time in, well, forever. His Q damage just got cut by a little bit, but he's still very powerful. Difficult to shove out of lane because of the passive allowing him regeneration, and you can't trade against him with that silence coming down. So a good ban away. It looks like top picks being forced by both teams. The Gnar taking away the Garen and the Yasuo, all strong top laners, but it's going to be a change over to mid lane picks with the Brand taken away. That
Blitz.
AP burst damage just completely removed from the game. It also makes a very strong support, so that's kind of a flex ban there.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's kind of also a support ban on the side of Comanche with that Blitz. One of those champions that you really don't see played very often, and yet can be so critical when it comes to late game picks. One throw over a wall with a good ward, and you are able to just grab somebody, eliminate them out of the game. And as you saw in the last game, take Darius out of the picture, and the fight's completely changed. We'll see if that happens in this game, as Kindred is the third ban from Comanche, taking that very strong jungler out. Once she gets that fourth mark, it's on, and Lamb is going to destroy as Sion, the first pick from CreamPuffs, and potentially their jungler as well.
And so the Kindred taken away, one of the strongest junglers right now, but it looks like Pants Danger has picked up that Sion, as was previously stated, definitely giving those late game possibilities of interaction. Now, Evelynn is, as we saw in that last game, just a key to taking over games. She's probably the most powerful assassin in the jungle right now and has been picked up. So we will like to be able to see her now. Speaking of powerful assassins in the jungle, Nocturne has been seeing competitive play for the first time in a long time and can completely remove an ADC from the game. So it's kind of a game of chess. You pick Nocturne, he gets fed, and just obliterates one of your prime damage threats in the game. So we're going to have a duel of assassins here in the jungle, Nocturne versus Evelynn, but we've got serious tanks coming through from Comanche. Braum and Galio now locked in for the mid lane, or possibly the top lane, but more likely the mid lane, and the Braum put in the supportive role.
And I'm not sure that I'm a huge fan of that from Comanche, and the reason why is that there's still 2 more bans to be had, and this gives CreamPuffs the opportunity to ban some of those stronger laner carries. And you can take 2 ADCs and pinch that ADC pool, as well as you get first pick on your side, or even secondary pick if Comanche grabs it on their 4th pick of the game. And so there's a really good opportunity to pinch those carry rolls, whereas tanks are one of those, obviously Comanche thinks they're worth it to grab them earlier on, but it means that your carries are more limited, as Fizz is going to be banned away by CreamPuffs, so pinching the mid lane a little bit more.
Oh, it's only a limit if they've done the research and they've done the OP.GG. Otherwise, I actually like it because that gives them the possibility of not being counterpicked. While they've revealed their jungler and potentially their top lane, they've revealed their solo laners, they don't have the bottom lane, but they will have the counterpick in both mid and or top and the ADC role. So I actually like the positioning because jungle doesn't really need a counterpick. You can't counterpick so hard in the jungle. A support, once again, kind of, if you get counterpicked in support role, it's not the end of the world. But ADC and mid lane, hold on, it is going to be the Mundo, which was left open this long. Look at this insane. I want to see a Kog'Maw, a Jinx, some massive hyper carry coming through as this last pick in the ADC role. Just something that can dish out damage, because they've got no damage picked, but they're just immortally tanky right now. And it is the Kai'Sa that is going to be popped. I love this pick. I can't tell you how perfect this is. It gives hybrid damage, and it's great late game scaling, has self-peel to get away from the Nocturne. I couldn't have picked a better thing
ADC.
myself, except for the possibility of Xayah.
And the other thing is that there's a ton of peel to go with it. You got Mundo, who's going to be cleaving and AoE damage. You've got Braum that just throws up that Unbreakable and deletes all of the incoming AoE or auto attacks or range attacks. Galio as well with a great taunt. Kai'Sa is in good position to be able to carry this game, but they need to make sure that this bottom lane is kind of the focus from Comanche so that they can get this Kai'Sa hyper carrying, because as we saw in game 1, if you leave your bottom lane out to dry, it can take so long for it to come online, and it may, depending on how the game pans out on the other lanes, be too late if they leave Kai'Sa alone long enough. So lots of ganks from Evelynn, kind of like we saw in game 2. Keep that pressure on, get her fed, get her rolling, and Comanche is in a good place.
Yeah, this is a late game team, definitely. So you need to get Kai'Sa fed, as you just said, but you also need to give your tanks time to scale up and get into the game. So really what I'm looking for is Evelynn to make plays in the early to mid game, and Kai'Sa to wait for her level 6. If there's going to be something to happen bot, then it has to be Evelynn who starts it. Ezreal and Thresh both have CC and mobility enough to make ganks almost impossible. So I'm looking for, I don't know, maybe a mid lane gank onto the Veigar is probably your most likely. But what I'm looking for from Nocturne to do is I want him to come down bot and just camp Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
Because that's their win condition. If Kai'Sa is shut down, there's no way Comanche wins. But CreamPuffs, if they don't do it, they're going to have some really hard times dealing with this tanky lineup, because they don't have anybody who really does percentage health damage. You've got Ezreal, who, let's face it, is not the scariest late game hyper carry. He falls off in about the 35-minute mark, depending on when he gets his items, and he's not a tank shredder. So if Dr. Mundo gets his items, if Braum gets items, if Galio gets items, there's not really anybody there to kill him. Veigar's not going to be able to kill Galio. The champion is built to take magic damage. Mundo doesn't care about burst damage at all. He pops ultimate and goes, ha, ha,
peace.
Ha. Yeah.
Or just kill you. We saw in an LCS game where he was able to 1v3. He was just so tanky, and his healing was insane. He just went through and just murdered anyone when it came to the late game. So also for the side of CreamPuffs, it's going to be that necessary item build to be able to grab something that cuts through Mundo's healing, because otherwise they're going to be in trouble if the game goes past that 25-30 minute mark. Before we get too much further, let's roll through the players and the champions from the side of Team CreamPuffs. We got Pants Danger taking the Sion in the top lane. MrBigstuph taking the Nocturne in the jungle. Von Stauffenberg taking the Veigar in the mid lane. Jon Lemon, love that name, taking the Ezreal in the 80 carry role. And last but not least, Raid Boss Thresh, I love that. They're playing the Thresh, oh shocker, in the bottom lane supportive role.
And so for Team Comanche, we've got Solstus on Evelynn in the jungle. We've got Poison on Dr. Mundo in the top lane. Squee taking Kai'Sa in the bottom lane ADC role. Uranus on Braum in the bottom lane supportive role. And ChickenLegs rounding it out with Galio in the mid lane. So, as a compositional standpoint, I have to go back. I like Comanche better for the late game. But we've seen in the last 2 games, the biggest issue has been grouping compositions, not grouping. Is that going to happen this time, or is Comanche going to play toward their win condition? Are they going to take the time to set up their push in the mid lane, or in the bottom lane, or in the top lane? As 5, grouped together and force objectives. Baron Dance is going to be the name of the game in the late game for Comanche. However, CreamPuffs looks like a composition that plays in chaos. You've got Sion, the ultimate, coming down the mid lane, followed by a Nocturne ultimate. You've got the late game scaling of Veigar, who has the ability to one-shot.
Press R, win fight.
Yeah, you can kill either Evelynn, or you can kill Kai'Sa in basically one shot. So it's kind of this back and forth. If there's a chaotic fight, I have to give it to CreamPuff. If it's a organized battle line type team fight, then I'm going to give it to Comanche. So it's definitely either side can win, but if it's played the way League of Legends is supposed to be, Comanche should win just from a compositional standpoint.
Another thing that I want to watch is where Veigar is using that stun net. You know, that AoE stun that could be very impactful in fights. And we've seen Veigar's before, be able to place it just on the edge of somebody and hook them in basically with a stun before the rest of the team is able to jump on in. And whoops, sorry, I wanted to switch to the loading screen before we get in, because ladies and gentlemen, we are into our third game of the day, League of Legends at DragonCon 2018, live on site. Team CreamPuffs takes on Team Comanche to see if they can lock in their playoffs spot. And we'll see how well this late game scaling Veigar is able to take on the massive tank line that is Team Comanche's almost entire team.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, and I almost hope this Galio goes kind of an AP off-tank build, so that he's not a full tank. You've got that in the Mundo, and it looks like a pause is going to be coming through. First one of the day. This is tournament draft. The general rule for a tournament draft is we give them 10 minutes in order. Oh, and there we go. As I say it, it looks like the pause is going to be resuming in 3, 2, 1.
They were trolling us.
There it is.
There was a little bit of troll. They wanted us to think that there was going to be a long-standing pause. We've had small issues with most of the games so far today. And this one, though, we're going to cross our fingers and say that everything works out well. Interesting start from the Kai'Sa, a cold start. So not going to be going damage, instead looking to get a bunch of farm early on. But that means the damage won't be great against the Ezreal. Not the end of the world, as it is in Ezreal, and that's more of the safe lane you pick just to farm and try to get your first 2 tiers. But what do you think of the cold start?
The thing about Cull's start is if you aren't in danger in the early game, it's an incredibly advantageous start, because basically you're foregoing the Doran's item, which is 450 gold, that you're just sinking into that, and you're also getting a late game investment. So you basically get the 450 gold that you would have spent on Cull. It gives you the stats, and then you sell it back for about 480 gold, so you gain gold. So you're going to hit your item power points. If Kai'Sa gets away with this and isn't punished, doesn't have a substantial CS lead, it's going to be a genius move that might win them the game, because she'll hit her item power spikes substantially faster, basically meaning late game comes sooner, and that's their win condition.
So it's almost worth it for the Evelynn to focus her attention on other lanes until that Kai'Sa is able to cash in that Cull, get those items, and then has that power spike on the bottom side. So if she's focusing on other lanes, I would prefer to see her engage that mid lane. Veigar very squishy, especially 3-6. Might not have enough stacks to be able to do anything major. We'll see if the Evelynn does that. We could see a Nocturne level 2 ganking into the mid lane, looks for the Galio. They find the stun. Do they get the fear down as well? It's only level 2 on that Nocturne. The flash works out. Nocturne flashes forward. It's first blood, but he's underneath the turret. And Evelynn's here going to trade it back. So kill for kill. Junglers both getting 1. But Nocturne comes out a little bit earlier and gets that first blood.
Yeah, first blood to the Nocturne, definitely an advantageous position for him, but he does give over the double buffs to Evelynn, refreshing hers and losing his. So his ganking potential in the future is going to be substantially less. Currently in top lane, CS even, no pots burned. So once again, tank v tank, not exactly the most interesting matchup. Poison a little low, but Mundo's passive is going to heal him up over time. So overall, not a ton happening. Just a kill traded back in the mid lane. Unfortunately, the Galio is somehow still up in CS, despite the fact that he did get killed.
Well, that was the thing, is that he teleported right back to lane, so it didn't cost ChickenLegs all that much. Sure, you gave Nocturne a little extra gold, there's assists on Veigar, but outside of that, he really wasn't bothered by it, and is still 6 farm ahead on top of it. So, still, Comanche not hurt that badly, and just kind of hanging in there.
Yeah, an important thing to note here is that I didn't say before, but it's kind of self-explanatory. Cull does not give you extra damage. Not enough to be anywhere close to meaningful. So they need to avoid at all costs any kind of engage. So the Thresh and the Ezreal are going to want to look for that engage, especially early. Wow, okay, this
Mundo taking a lot of damage to the top lane, down under 200 health, has a little bit of a shield to try to keep him safe, but he's got no pots, and the Sion is doing a really good job shoving him, going to force him to back. So he's probably going to teleport back to lane to try to pick up some of the wave that's going to crash as Sion continues to shove those minions in. But Sion doing a really good job on the harassment. Mundo, though, needs to survive till he hits level 6, and then he'll be fine. Because as soon as he gets down to 3/4 health, pops the ult, heals back to full, and we'll just keep on trucking.
Yeah, Mundo, not Veigar.
Mundo, sorry. I've got a couple names.
I was going to say, with Veigar, it's the opposite. They get down to 3/4 health, you prop the ult, and they just die.
There you go.
Yeah, so currently I'm loving this play from the bot lane. You're like, Ryan, nothing's happening. Exactly. That means Kai'Sa and Braum are playing perfectly. They don't want anything to happen until probably second back. That's going to be when Kai'Sa cashes in the call and most likely has substantially more gold than her.
Oh, they might actually go in on the Ezreal. They're going to chunk it down a little bit. One of Braum's passive stacking. He's got 2 stacks now on the Thresh, but will be walking away. Braum knocked down about to half, but shoved the members of CreamPuffs back as Mundo going to take a little bit of harassment top lane. I like, though, the wave positioning that Kai'Sa and Braum have been able to do. And now they're going to let the side of CreamPuffs push right back. Ooh, good.
Good Justice Punch.
Justice Punch by that Galio. Pulls him out of the mid lane. Dodges underneath the Veigar stun. So they're resetting the minions off of the fountain, or the tower. Yeah, let's see what their goal is.
The bot lane really should have recalled at that point because Kai'Sa needs one more wave to get BF sword. That's an unfortunate gold timing, but they just crashed a large wave into the bottom lane tower. But that, hold on, that's not going anywhere. There's not enough mana on Galio. However, Nocturne is coming bot lane. He's only level 4, though.
Oh, the Thresh hook pulls the Braum, slays him backwards as well. Jon Lemon getting good damage down. The Braum is forced to flash away. Can he survive? He's extremely low. And MrBigstuph is able to take him down. So that is a second kill to the side of CreamPuffs. Squee getting some pretty good damage onto Jon Lemon. Drops some low with those rockets. But even still, going to feel okay about the farm and the wave that she's going to be able to clear as the members of CreamPuffs bottom lane are going to back away.
Yeah, both summoner spells burned from Jon Lemon, though. So that is going to be a problem into the late game. He will have, or not late game, pardon, later phases of the lane.
Right.
He will still have Essence Flux to get himself away, Arcane Shift to get himself away, so he's not completely immobile, but he will not have the heal to absorb damage or save his support in the future. I'm looking for Squee to push this lane in, recall, and then TP back because he does have that spell.
He's only gotten his call down by half, so probably another 7 minutes or so before they're able to complete that. Are going to back and buy probably that BF sword, as you said, sitting on that 1,700, 1,800 gold.
I actually don't think she's going to go BF, to be honest. But that
what do you think?
13. Oh, she did. That is not usually the meta at this point.
Taunt from Galio. ChickenLegs getting just a little bit of harass onto the Veigar, though. He absorbs it in style, walking back. It is that nice boss Veigar skin. Got all them pixels.
Yeah, and that's the TP back. Poison taking a lot of damage just from the minions. Pants Danger waiting in the brush, and it's going to knock up the Mundo. This could be a kill.
That's a slant ultimate as well. That knocks him up. Holds him in place for the moment. Gets him extremely low. He's popped the ultimate. Can the healing be enough? A nice slow forces Pants Danger to have to Q again, and Mundo gets out, but barely alive on the top side. I was just laughing because the scene where Mundo's sitting there burning down the minions solely with his AoE, it's just so classically Mundo.
He's like, her?
Oh, Evelynn's up here as well. This could be a 2-man gank on the top side with Nocturne as well. Looks like Evelynn is just going to walk away, though. So the members, with both junglers up there, not much happened. ChickenLegs back to the mid lane, just forces Veigar walk the long way around.
Pocket Spaghetti and ChickenLegs, my favorite names today. So, Veigar moving forward. Really, he's just farming up, which is what you'd expect from the hyper carry. Still even in CS, despite getting aggroed on by the more tanky member. Meanwhile, in bot lane, 66 CS, very close to popping that cull. And at that point, it's going to become a lot more dangerous for the bot lane. And the thing is, the more I think about it, the more I love this cull start. Because Ezreal needs to start Tear of the Goddess.
Right.
The problem with that item is that it doesn't give you any stats. It gives you mana, lets you cast abilities more often, but it doesn't do anything else for you. So she knows that even if she gets to survive that early back, at that point she's actually going to be stronger despite not going the damage item early. So it's a calculated gamble that ends up, it looks like it's going to pay off because she only needs 25 more CS to cash it in.
And on top of that, is 20 plus farm over the Ezreal as is. So when she eventually gets that item breakpoint, it's going to be massive, and it would be good for Comanche to look for some fights. As they're looking for one right now in the top lane. Evelynn coming in. She got the charm initially. The Sion's fairly tanky so far this game. Pops a corrupting potion, trying to heal up. Mundo's using the ultimate to tank up the tower. Pants danger flashes away. Can Mundo take him out? He does, but the pass is going to trade it 1-for-1 in the top lane. Mundo, though, got the first of the 2 kills.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Pants Danger had not turned around, he would have won. He would have just...
Oh, just kept walking away.
Yeah, if he'd kept walking, he'd already gotten the auto down. He'd gotten the knockup. That would have been a kill, and he wouldn't have had to trade his life for it. A small misplay, but he still trades 1-for-1 and wastes the jungler's time. Plus, he is losing a substantial amount of CS, so it's kind of an even trade. Mundo going to respawn first, and as his teleport's about to come off cooldown, I don't know if he'll use it to shove another wave in, though.
Wanted to check really quick. Sion was starting to walk towards the mid lane, but looks like he's going to head back to the top. As Nocturne's going to find Galio on the bottom side. Nice fear. Grabs him out of the Justice Punch. The taunt, hold him in place. Of course, the flash from Galio. The flash return from the 2 members of CreamPuffs chasing in. They've got him snared up, and a nice ult from Veigar is going to get himself a nice kill there, as well as now 4 versus potentially 2, as Braum uses Glacial Fissure, is hooked up by the Thresh as well. They're going to lock him down, and all members of CreamPuffs and Sion having ulted in as well. Take out a second kill. They're now 1,000 gold in the lead, turning on to the Mountain Drake, which is going to allow them to scale up even more.
Yeah, something that most players do, I'm guilty of this myself. Hold on, Veigar TPing toward the top lane to try and stop that from going down. He does do it successfly, but there's something that a lot of players do, and I myself do when I thought that was going to be a steal, to be honest.
Oh, it was close from Squee. We got a heck of lag pause for a moment. There we go. Game continues as Evelynn comes around the corner. So Galio did teleport to the backside. We got a teleport from Mundo as well. They're trying to catch the members. MrBigstuph is extremely low. The shield from Thresh holds him in place for the moment, but nobody is taking the lantern. There's the ultimate from Thresh as well. Nocturne's extremely low. Justice Punch from Galio, or the ultimate grand entrance from Galio, doesn't land on anybody. He's turning on to Sion, and all the members of CreamPuffs besides Nocturne are able to just kind of spread out and escape. Really good positioning by them to only lose 1 in what could have been a really impactful pincer as Evelynn comes to the mid lane. The charm not quite going to land as the knockup from Sion. Going to be able to hold him in place for the moment. Evelynn's extremely low. She gets sent up again. Braum tries to come in. The unbreakable wall keeps her alive. And that is Evelynn sneaking away with almost no help as Squee in the bottom lane is going to be in trouble. Ezreal comes in, landing on more Qs. He's got all the mana he needs, and that is Squee. Woo, very close to falling down. I was about to say, like, Ezreal, if you don't get this, I'm going to be a little upset.
Yeah. No, man.
Oh, Nocturne ult comes in onto Mundo. He's dropped down to half. He's a pretty tanky boy, and he's got flash as well. He flashes straight in a line, though. That is not what you want. Bigstuph gets a 4th kill of the game, and suddenly he goes from just a jungler to the carry in this game.
Yeah, so Nocturne, if he gets ahead, suddenly becomes the assassinate. He's basically an intercontinental ballistic missile. It just ults and teleports exactly to your most valuable player and kills them. He usually dies himself because he's building full damage, but past that, he can take out your most important character, which is the Kai'Sa. The problem with that is that once he does that, if you're Comanche, you have no other damage source on your team. While Galio is technically building into some damage first, he's not going to have that late game damage potential that a Veigar is going to have, or even an Ezreal, while he's not necessarily the most impressive late game damage source, deals a substantial amount more than a Galio.
So Kai'Sa finishing the Stormrazor's Edge, will finish her call as well, and 1 more minion wave after these, which is already splashing in. So we'll have that extra gold as well when she backs next. We'll see what she decides to buy as Ezreal sitting on a handful of pieces. This is the classic thrift store inventory, and it's going to take him a little bit longer to find any power spikes. Braum down here as well. Oh, I didn't know if they were going to try to engage on that if Braum had landed the Winter's Bite. Looks like they're just going to play it safe, though.
Yeah, I'm wanting Squee to land a couple of Stormrazor-empowered autos first, and then kind of look for an engage. Right now, they are substantially more powerful than their opposite numbers. While Thresh has finished his item, Ezreal does not have his Trinity Force. So Squee and Uranus are much stronger at this point in the game, but not if Veigar is there. He's trying to force forward.
Kai'Sa jumps right back in, looking for the damage. The flash forward, Braum jumps in, trying to get the Glacial Fissure to knock people up. Will miss it, though. Ezreal's flash is already down. The good Arcane Chip gets him out of harm's way. MrBigstuph clearing some wards on the top side. Don't think he'll try to ult. It's coming off of ult in a couple of seconds. It's coming off cooldown in a couple of seconds. Let's see if he decides to go in. He's coming around from behind. He's got the double buffs. They do get the knockup from the Sion as well. Mundo ultimate going down. Can they get him out of this? The fear holds him in place for a moment. Another knockup from Sion, and Mundo falls on the top side. CreamPuffs is just creaming so far, at least on kills, as Von Stauffenberg in the mid lane. Stauffenberg will be falling. Not much for Evelynn to do besides spam a couple Qs. Take him out. The top side, CreamPuffs should be able to clear the first turret of the game, give that extra gold over to the top laners. And Evelynn heads up there, just try to clear some minions.
Yeah, at this point, Squee and Uranus should be playing so far forward. They have the advantage here, and they just saw the jungler and the top laner and the mid laner just go down. They know they're alone on this side of the map, and Galio can join. So they should be playing almost under the enemy tower, harassing, taking fights, taking trades. Even though the ultimate is down from the Braum, they still have a compositional and item advantage. So they should be taking advantage of this, but they're not.
They are 30 farm ahead, and so they may be trying to scale that up. But even so, if you're playing aggressively, pushing these minion waves underneath the turret, it can give you a lot more reward than just playing back, playing defensively. Kai'Sa looks like she wants to recall, but may decide to continue to stick around. Evelynn's headed towards the bottom side. Drake's still another minute 30 away before spawning.
Yeah, so once again, still going back. I want to see them playing past the midpoint. And Kai'Sa has Splash. Even if Nocturne comes in, she has the potential between both her ultimate and her flash to get away. Braum's there. He doesn't have ult, but he does have he has exhaust and a couple of other measures that he can use to peel that damage off. With Evelynn in the area, you're almost wanting to bait a gank.
Ooh, Nocturne finds the Evelynn. She's forced to flash for a moment. The Fear's holding her in place. Can Braum save her? No. Nocturne gets the kill. One more shot will stun up the Nocturne, but he's going to be able to get away from the moment. Kai'Sa uses the ultimate. She's going in. A couple more Wados will take it down. The exhaust will not stop her. She flashes away. The Thresh and the Ezreal trying to chase in. Big, great boss Thresh slays her right into the Ezreal's awaiting farm. Can Squee get the outplay? No, will not. And now Uranus G will be going down as Thresh is able to land another hook and a flay. The Braum falls as well. So all that aggression on the bottom side from Comanche is going to fall as they lose 3 across the board on the bottom same fight.
However, something to note there, and the most important thing that happened in that fight is that Kai'Sa got the shutdown. That was an interesting ult. There's probably not going to be much to come of this.
Is he going to flash? Oh, he does. Flashes for the taunt. They're able to turn on. And the Sion fails the flash over the wall. Pants Danger will potentially, most likely be falling. Are they waiting around for Evelynn? No. Okay, I was like, why is Evelynn marking him? Wait, Mundo gets traded. Sion from undead form will chase this Mundo in. He doesn't have the taking stats yet to survive and will be falling trading 1 for 1.
Yeah, so while no one should have died in that top lane fight, just saying, Sion should have just ulted and gotten away.
Galio comes to the mid lane. The flash forced out. Veigar will be able to walk away for the moment. They've got Winds of War, going to do a little bit of damage. Nocturne coming in from the side as well. Evelynn and Galio is here. Nocturne may bit off more than he can shoot, but he wisely backs away. Charms are not going to land either. Ezreal comes through, drops Evelynn extremely low. Nocturne goes in. Galio has to punch out to safety for the moment as the Flay comes in, holding Braum in place for a moment as he gets underneath the turret. Kai'Sa coming around the side. But they have left their bottom lane where they already lost the turret, and CreamPuffs' aggression is really paying off.
Yeah, they're playing very forward, playing very well. They should be playing aggressively into this composition, and they are. The Nocturne very far ahead right now, and he's going to be the linchpin that kind of pulls this game from the mid to early game into that late game stage. Because if you allow these tanks to scale up, Nocturne becomes almost irrelevant. If you allow the tanks to scale up, even Ezreal, who's supposed to kill the tanks, isn't really going to be able to do that in the very, very late game. So they want to close this out as fast as possible, knock down turrets. I'm looking for them to take the Rift Herald next and use that to force either top lane or mid lane.
Oh, Braum and Galio maybe cut out here. They're both kind of tanks. They're not really looking for that much damage as the Thresh hook and play will hold them in. Uses the ultimate as well to slow Braum as he's trying to escape. Galio trying to walk away, but the Veigar ultimate will catch too. Braum goes down. Galio trying to punch to safety, goes right back into the stun. Evelynn around the corner, making the assassination on Nocturne, but she's going to be running away as Ezreal's autoing her down. Jon Lemon using the aggression. Evelynn forced to ultimate to get out of danger's way. Heads back to the turret and escapes. And CreamPuffs is continuing to take over.
Yeah, CreamPuffs doing a very good job of it, capitalizing on their advantage. They've already taken 2 Mountain Drakes, so they have priority over any neutral objective that they want. 15 to 6 right now in kills, and up a substantial amount of gold, almost a little over 4,600 to be precise, as they move all the way around the map. Bigstuph hovering the top side, and it looks like he's going to focus down the Rift Herald.
So they should be able to get this. Doesn't look like Comanche is going to try to get in there and stop it. They don't even have good vision on it. They've got 1 ward, but not much vision. Evelynn coming around the side, but it may go down in the meantime a little bit too late. They've got double Mountain Drakes as well, so they pick up the Rift Herald, and they continue to stack those advantages. Nocturne ult back up and available if he decides to go in on somebody yet again. And so far, 7-3-3 has had a massive impact on this game.
Yeah. Currently, Oranos and ComChickenLegs grouping in the mid lane with SqueeZ. Kind of a 1-3-1 setup, but Evelynn setting up for a gank on
hits the
Danger in the top
charm,
lane.
but Hans Danger may not care too much. He's a pretty tanky boy. Got the Hydra, so going to be clearing minion waves pretty quickly on the top side. TP's to the bottom side to try to push in down there. Braum using the Unbreakable to kind of defend against the mid lane turret. Lands 1 Winter's Fight on Thresh. Not exactly the target that you want. The turret's extremely low, so Comanche is just sitting ducks, waiting for CreamPuffs to push in, and Ezreal to just slowly auto it down.
Yeah, right now, the TP was used to go to the bot side by Sion and push in that wave, forcing out the Mundo teleport, so it's an even summoner spell trade, not to much benefit. But Sion is moving toward that mid lane, can use the ultimate from the Fog of War in order to engage on the team that they have a substantial advantage, so forcing this should be their priority right now. I also want to see them drop the Rift Herald here.
Baron is live, so whoever wins this fight, if it's a big one, could potentially rotate and get the first Baron of the game. That turret is extremely low. They could try to decide to try to engage while the tower is dropping. Galio gets a 4-man taunt. This is the engage that the side of Comanche wants. The Sion is the target. He's being dropped low. Braum's held. He's been ulted by Veigar. Will drop on top of that. Nocturne goes in with the ult, but lives, or will fall. Kaisa lives for a moment with the shield, but will fall as well. Galio's dropped, and the members of Comanche are slowly falling, but Mundo is still alive. Great Boss Thresh hooks to the wolves. Will try to escape. They're chewing him down from the side. Evelynn's able to pick off 1, and now Mundo is just so darn tanky. Can he 1v2 against an Ezreal and a Sion? This seems unlikely. He's going to be forced to walk away as Ezreal gets a couple last pick-off shots. And so, a 4-4-2 fight leaves huge in CreamPuffs' favor.
Yeah, so Mundo managed to really pop off in that fight, securing himself 2 kills. And the Rift Herald, like I was saying earlier, is going to take down that tower and get a charge onto the second tier. Mundo needs to hit that eye. Oh, and they did stop the charge, so he won't get the charge onto the third.
Oh, they stopped the charge a second time. So one of the things with the Galio is the 4-man taunt was fantastic, but there wasn't anyone that could get into the middle of that fight for Galio to use his ult effectively, knocking several members up. And so instead, after the taunt, everything kind of just drifted back towards Comanche's base, and that extended fight gives CreamPuffs, who have the gold, the item, and the power advantage, to just harass Comanche down, burning them. And then when the fight dragged into the jungle, away from the turret, which is not what you want when you're on the losing side already, even more of an opportunity for CreamPuffs to win. Whereas if you are behind, fight underneath your turrets. Use them as the 6th man when you're under those engages. As it is, Nocturne's going to steal away blue buff and head back towards his own side of the map. Baron still on the table, as it looks like both teams trying to get supports around it.
Yeah, and the critical moment in that fight is when Veigar managed to land a stun onto the Kaisa. Remember, Kaisa's really the only consistent source of damage that the team has. So when he landed the stun and the dark matter, that several thousand damage, it felt like, right onto SqueeZ, it basically pushed him out of the fight, and later the Veigar moved forward and got the ultimate down on him as well, knocking out Kai'Sa early in the fight before she could actually start controlling things with consistent DPS.
So again, back to the 1-3-1. You've got Galio on the bottom side that he's going to rotate back to where his team is. He's got ultimate up in just a couple of seconds, so maybe trying to reposition in case the fight breaks out. CreamPuffs, though, with their 4 members, are feeling strong in the mid lane. They're not making a huge amount of use with their pressure, but Drake is up in 15 seconds, and that's where Ezreal decides to go ahead, drop some wards, get some vision, and prep in case the rest of the team decides to go that way.
Yep, absolutely. Playing objective control. Squee is top lane with no teleport, so they should go for this Drake right now. I want to see them group. It is a Cloud Drake, so it's not of highest priority, but still it's a good thing to fight for, especially when the primary damage source is top lane and is still top lane. Squee needs to move now and move down toward his team, or they're going to lose this fight.
Yeah, this is the Kai'Sa, the one damage dealer on the team. Mundo's got 4 kills, but he's killing that pure tank route. Kai'Sa finally making her way down here, and Comanche may have stalled long enough to hold out. Galio around the corner. Brom's been hooked up the Thresh by the Thresh. Galio goes in, taunting up 2. Thresh is in here though. Kai'Sa comes from the back side. She's trying to get in now. There's the Void Seeker, but it's going to be too late. Mundo, tanky, trying to walk away. Escape for the moment. 4 members continuing to pummel him from the backside. Ezreal ult's going to slam through. Poison is so low, but continuing heal up. MrBigstuph flashes forward. Gets the fear. That's enough. The Kai'Sa going to be knocked down as well after being stunned. And CreamPuffs baits the members of Comanche in. As soon as they saw Kai'Sa coming through the mid lane and said, she's not here, go. They completely decimate the fight, take out the mid lane in turret, as well as the mid lane inhibitor. They could back to try to get the Windrake, or they could just push it in. Looks like they're going to back up and probably head to the Baron instead. Yeah,
they could have at least forced a Nexus turret there, but they're going to regroup. Looks like they're going to head toward the Baron, like you said, Jake. They don't have, well, they do have a control ward on it. Now 2 control wards on it. And there is a jungler up, but the level difference is really going to give the advantage over to MrBigstuph. And Pansar Danger playing well for a top laner, warding it out, making sure that nobody can approach, and it's just going to be a free Baron. So Evelynn on the bottom side of the map, not even going to try and contest, and that's going to kind of spell the end for Comanche. It's CreamPuffs' game to lose at this point. If they decide to play this out well, play it smart, push in the waves, wait for that mid lane to crash, put their main guys top and Mundo bottom lane, this is a win. If they, of course, everybody can screw up games. I've done it myself plenty of times. However, I'm looking for them to play this out clean, play it slow, not get all bloodlust, but I want to see them play control. That's something we haven't seen quite yet today. We've seen a lot of blood brawls and a lot of bloodlust when they're ahead, but we haven't seen clean, controlled play, so that's what I'm looking for here. They are 10,000 gold in the lead, so a little bit of bloodlust might go a bit of a way, but you overextend. We've seen that bite people when they try to do a little bit too much. They want to fight here near the Windrake last time. They're considering a bait, but decide after seeing people fighting the minions in the mid lane to go ahead, pick up that Windrake, allow those rotations to be even faster for them. Playing a 4-1, 4 on the bottom side, 1 on the top. Sion pushing solo by himself. He is tanky, and I wanted to say earlier, when he was positioning on Baron, it's small stuff like that that I love to see, because he's the CC member. Charm goes on to Veigar. I don't think he cares. Evelynn, nice ultimate, gets her out of the stun from the Veigar. Galio goes in, trying to just escape from the Nocturne, who's continuing to harass him down. Auto attack after auto attack. Can ChickenLegs fall before Kai'Sa can get here to defend? MrBigstuph has a GA, so he may not even care. He does finally decide to back up, but the GA has been burned. 3 members of Comanche will be around to finish him off, but the bottom side turret is falling, and that's going to be Comanche losing one turret, or another turret on this bottom side. The inhibitor now in danger. Veigar coming around the backside. Brom and Mundo trying to get an engage on, as it is a 4v1, but Galio ult comes through, only knocks up the Veigar. Sion off to the side, trying to take up as much as possible. The Veigar's still alive. Finally, Kai'Sa takes him out. There's no damage left.
Is it going to be enough? Jon Lemon able to take out one, finishes off the Mundo. Evelynn jumps to the back line. The Ezreal's gone. Thresh is here. Thresh versus Evelynn. Looks like Thresh will win it. In the meantime, though, Sion has moved in. Kai'Sa, the only member left alive for Comanche, trying to hold on, but it's a Baron up minion wave. A super tanky Sion and a tanky Thresh who have come in. They take their second inhibitor for the side of CreamPuffs.
Yeah, all in all, that's not the worst thing in the world for Comanche. It's about the best they could hope for. They should have just gotten destroyed, but they did come out almost even in that team fight. Though I will say that Evelynn getting 1v1 by Thresh is kind of sad. Anyway.
Well, it just shows you how far ahead CreamPuffs is. 2-0 and 15 on this Thresh, playing an immaculate game, healing for his team. And most of his heal is actually around the Veigar, because Ezreal kind of has his own self-heal with those arcane shifts. Still went down due to Evelynn finding a really nice assassination on the backside. But even still, 3 for 2. CreamPuffs continue to stack up their gold, pushing now to that 11,000 mark. Use of the Baron gives them the bottom inhibitor, and now they got 2 waves with super minions crashing in. Thresh still has Baron.
Yeah, there is still the possibility of that incredible late game team fight, and MrBigstuph, he is caught out, he's tagged, and Kaisa goes for it.
Ults in, she's by herself though, trying to get the damage down. Ezreal here poking, nice poke from Thresh. This is the raid boss Thresh. The rest of the team is going to be coming in as well. Slave throws 3 back, Veigar around the side, he's dealing massive damage. Squee's been able to take 2. This is the triple kill. She might be able to finish off the Veigar. He's using the Zanya to keep himself alive for the moment, but it's a triple kill for Kaisa. She can turn on. The Thresh should be going as well. The quadra kill. Could it be the penta as it's on from Sion? He flashes forward. Galio trying to get on, but Pants Danger is in danger himself. Squeeze layering on the damage. They've got the knockup as well. Give it to the Kaisa. It's going to be the first
Penta kill!
2018 penta kill. Kaisa comes through. CreamPuffs make a huge comeback, but they have to go back to the base as super minions are crashing in and taking out Nexus turrets. One has already fallen as they turn now onto the second Nexus turret, so they're going to have to hold on because they just winning one team fight is not going to be enough to get them out of this.
However, that is a big deal, and oh my gosh, it does manage to knock them down. Kaisa not recalling, but rather going top lane. Not enough damage to save those turrets, and they have an open Nexus. The inhibitor will be coming up rather quickly, so they will have that kind of back and forth. If they can keep their inhibitors alive, they don't have the naked Nexus anymore, and they don't have the risk of being backdoored, but they're always going to have that potential now. They can just walk into the enemy base and kill the Nexus, and the game's over.
Yeah, especially someone with fast attack speed like an Ezreal, if he pairs up with another member and just rush in, even a Sion, ulting in past everyone, just going in for the kill. He's fairly tanky, up 3 items, so he could be able to kind of hold out and chase it in. Looks like, though, the rest of the members of Comanche are going to collect around the mid lane, hold on. Baron spawning in a minute 30, the next Drake in a minute 40. We'll see what they decide to do as CreamPuffs are playing it slow. We talked about their control from the beginning of the game. They lost the last team fight because they were a little spread out. They weren't grouped together, but now they're grouping and may just decide to try a 5-man straight down mid lane.
Yeah, I think that is the best of all possible scenarios right here. Nocturne, ultimate up. You're looking for him to connect onto Kaisa. She's the carry right now. She has no summoner spells up. Pants Danger moving forward, threatening onto that inhibitor. Kaisa is not here. Poison posturing forward. Big stuff caught out on the side. Squee needs to ult now. She's going to go down, and that is going to spell the game.
Even the Galio ult's not going to be enough. He goes in, knocks up just the Sion, but that is the tank. Nocturne ult off to the side. This, causing chaos as they can't see anything. Veigar able to harass through. Mundo in the middle of 4. He will be falling here shortly as the Nocturne goes in from this side. The Thresh is going to find Braum. He's going to be pulled out. All 5 members from CreamPuffs still alive. Sion ult locks up the Galio as well. Double kill to the Nocturne, and CreamPuffs, after a huge team fight, will take Game 3 and move on to the playoffs themselves.
Yeah, wow, that was so close to a comeback from Comanche. That CreamPuffs almost threw that with a really bad team fight. We got to see what a grouping team can do in a group team fight. Braum's shield in that one team fight where the Kaisa managed to get the pentakill. Braum's shield was at the front. No damage was coming through to the back line. You had all the tanks positioned right at the front, and then the damage dealers in the back, and there was nothing that CreamPuffs could do to deal with Comanche's damage there. But then you had a scattered fight. Remember what I said at the beginning. Scattered fights go to CreamPuffs. Organized fights go to Comanche. We saw both of those in that game. The organized fight went to Comanche, but we had a scattered fight. The ADC trying to assassinate the assassin. It doesn't work. So, gets caught out, and then the rest is history. So, congratulations to CreamPuffs. They will be moving on to the next round, and we're going to go to a break.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere as we get into Game 4, finding our last playoffs member, and we'll be right back.